We got a big problem, folks. And the problem is this: 99.999% of participants use their gut feeling to find peaks, to find the top. They ask their friends, they look at the news, they ask for key opinion leaders, and they ask them, where is the top? Please, can you tell me where the top is? I need to know. However, the best indicator is quantitative indicators. They get rid of the news, they get rid of the fluff, they get rid of the noise, and they provide you an objective conclusion. Now, not all models are the best. Yeah, these models are not 100% accurate, but it will help you find the peaks and the bottoms. This is the Bitcoin price, and it's hovering around 98,000 US dollars. And right over here, ladies and gentlemen, is the BTI indicator. It has multiple different indicators ranging from the CVD score, the NUPL score, MVRVS score, the Pirelli score, CSI score, PLR score, and the MACD. There's multiple different quantitative indicators that we could use, and I'm going to go through all of them to help you out along your journey. During the 2013 bull market, when Bitcoin was around $5 and went all the way up to a whopping 1,000 US dollars, the BTI score flashed red, and these are multiple different quantitative indicators. The first time was during this peak, and the second time was during the second peak. Similarly, the BTI score during 2017 peak went to 20,000 US dollars, and the quantitative indicators were all flashing red. Majority of folks such as yourselves entered during this period. As you can see here, it marked the absolute top. However, the second peak did not flash all red. This is a great indicator to take profits. Right over here, participants were taking profits and using this indicator. We have some more great tools for quantitative analysis. And as you can see here, this is the CBBI history chart. And every time we enter these areas, technically it's the best period to buy. You don't need to listen to the news. You don't really need to listen to key opinion leaders. You can just come right here, public knowledge, and use the CBI history score. Likewise, to find the peaks, every time it hits 100, that's the best time to sell. And again, it hits 7, best time to buy. Again, hits 100, best time to sell, and again, and again, and again. Get it? The CBBI score uses a plethora of different indicators. The Pi cycle top indicator, the RUPL chart, the realized hodl ratio, the Pirelli multiple, 2-year moving average, Bitcoin trelololo, trend line. That's a tongue twister. And then we have the MVRVC score, reserve risk, and finally the CVDD score. Models are not 100% accurate, but we're going to look at every single one and try to ascertain which one is the most accurate. So let's have a closer inspection. As you can see here, it found the top during 2013. And then again, it found almost the absolute top again in November. And then again, it almost found the second peak in December 2013. Impressively, in 2017, it found the absolute top, the absolute top. If you used this indicator and sold, you would have been in profit, in massive, massive profits. And finally, we have the class of 2020 and 2021. It almost found the absolute top once again. This indicator probably has the best accuracy in finding tops. And as of now, during this current cycle, the Pi cycle top indicator hasn't flashed red, which is a good indication that we have higher prices to go. Let's have a look at the RUPL score. This is the unrealized profit and loss chart. And as you can see here, every time we get to these lower areas, it's a good period to buy. And again, every time we get to these higher periods of 100%, it's a good time to sell. And as you can see here, it's flashing red for Bitcoin at 106,000 US dollars. Here is a better illustration. Every time the blue line gets to these higher ranges, it's a good time to take profits and sell. And as of now, we're in a period of euphoria and greed. It might be a good time to take profits. We might be heading to lower prices. Let's continue on our search to find good quantitative indicators. We don't want to look at the news. We don't want to look at key opinion leaders for their opinions. We could rather look at quantitative analysis and find a better approach. And as you can see here, it is flashing red. This is at 100% score. Here is a better illustration. As you can see, the first time we got to these higher red bands, and then slowly we made lower highs after lower highs, and now it's hit this area. We've never ever made a higher high to the previous bull run. As you can see here, we almost made a new higher high. This is an indication that we are seeing extended price actions, and it might be a good time to take profits. It says right here, when the R-hodl ratio starts to approach the red band, it can signal that the market is overheating. This has historically been a good time for investors to take profits in each cycle. Every time we get to these red areas, it means it's time to sell. Every time we get to these lower green areas, it's time to buy. And as you can see, this was a great period to buy, another great period to buy, another great period to buy. Remember when folks were telling you that Bitcoin was heading to 10,000 to 3,000 US dollars? Heck, we're going to see the biggest recession. This was a good period to buy the fear. As you can see, buy the fear here, buy the fear. If you did use this indicator, like I did, you would have been rewarded plentifully. Next up, we have the Pirelli multiple. Currently, the Pirelli multiple is sitting at 88. It's very close to 100. Now, what is the Pirelli multiple? I'm going to show you a better illustration. The Pirelli multiple was created by a gentleman called David Pirelli, and it was created in 2019. Every time it hits these green bands, it's a period where you buy. Every time it flashes red, that's a period where you sell. Best possible time to buy was during 2022 of November, when Bitcoin was around 15,000 US dollars. The second best time to buy was when Bitcoin was at 58,000 US dollars. At the moment, it hasn't got to the higher ranges, but you have to remember this. Every time we make a lower high, another lower high, a further lower high, and again another lower high. Have we peaked? We might possibly peaked and formed another lower high. Let's head back to the CBBI indicator, and we're going to look at the 2-year moving average. And this is the 2-year moving average. I'm going to show you a better illustration. This is the 2-year moving average, and personally, it's not the best indicator. What is better is the 120-day moving average. A far better quantitative indicator is the 120-day moving average. As you can see here, you can use these charts to find the best entry points and the best exit points in the long run. Every time it goes underneath this band, we're heading into a bear market. And every time we go above the 120-day moving average, we're heading into a bull market. We kiss this area once again, kiss this area again and again and again. These were simply buy the dip opportunities. Every time we fall below these moving averages, the 60-day moving average, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110 and 120-day moving average is a sign that we're heading into a sustained bull market. And I can continue again and again and again and again. Currently, during this bull market, we've sustained higher prices and we've constantly bounced on the 120-day moving average, except for 2 occasions, once over here and once over here. You could have simply taken profits, waited for it to go above the 120-day moving average and continue to buy the dips. As I said in previous episodes, Bitcoin is heading to, I haven't finished. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin trend line. This model is not fairly accurate, as it predicted that in 2022 it will get to 100,000 US dollars, the peak, or possibly head to 140,000 US dollars. This is the MVRV score, and I think majority of participants have heard of the MVRP score. I don't really need to talk about it. Let's have a look at the reserve risk, and as you can see here, we still haven't got to the higher ranges at the reserve risk. And finally, one of my favorites to finding bottoms, honestly, is the CVD score. And as you can see right over here, the CVD score has accurately predicted every single bottom. As you can see here, it predicted the very bottom back in 2011. What was I doing during that time? What was I doing? Anyway, it predicted the bottom during that time. And then again in 2019. And then again, the absolute bottom right over here, the very, very bottom on December the 15th, 2018. And finally, predicted the absolute bottom in 2022. Where were you on November the 21st, 2022? And if we add all of these metrics together, we're going to get the CBBI ratio score. I'm going to add all of this together and we're going to look at the charts. And as of now, we are close to 100, but we haven't actually peaked, just like the other cycles in the past. There are a few indicators that majority of participants ignore and don't really pay attention to. The first one is the realized price of Bitcoin. Just to help you along your journey. So next time in the next bear market, all you're just going to do is buy Bitcoin and hold it for 3 years, then rotate into altcoins, just making your life easier. Every time the realized price indicator is flashing green, what do? You buy. Every time it's flashing red, what do you do, gents? What do? You sell. We flashed red momentarily twice. The first time was in June 2022, and the second time to buy the dip, the best buy the dip opportunity of your entire life. And did you fade it? And then we have a few more indicators, less well-known indicators like the PCT score and finally the TFS score. Where does this leave alts? I've said this numerous, countless of times. Your altcoins are dependent on Mr. Powell. Altcoins have always, ladies and gentlemen, been a liquidity play. And as of now, dominance is underneath its 120-day moving average. We need to go above this and ultimately see altcoin season. I'm going to overlay this chart with the total assets under management. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Fed was increasing their balance sheets, and therefore alts, like I said many times, are a liquidity play. Every time there's less money in the system, it's risk off. To emphasize my point even further, quantitative easing continued for approximately 1,000 days. Thereafter, Powell switched, pivoted because of inflation and turned off the printing press. Since then, we've had quantitative tightening for 1,239 days. All we've done is made lower highs after lower highs after further lower highs and again lower highs. We could, ladies and gentlemen, continue to make lower lows as long as quantitative tightening is in the system. We have some more indicators. Quickly go through some more indicators. We have the Bitcoin top and bottom indicator. Every time it flashes red, it's a period to sell. Every time it's at these lower band colors, it's a period to buy. This was a great period to buy. It was flashing green at the time. And finally, the rainbow chart. This indicator is null and valid. I don't use it. Many participants don't really use it anymore because participants thought that we're heading to the red band. So many participants didn't sell, thinking that we're going to head to these upper red bands. Therefore, they held on to another cycle or they panic sold. Just to conclude, we flashed all red in 2017, flashed all red, all indicators in 2021. And as of now, right over here, none of the indicators have flashed red. That means we still have higher prices to go. In my opinion, I think we're heading higher. I'm going to wait for these indicators to begin to turn red. Not a single indicator has flashed red. That's it for now. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join our private members. In this market, we managed to make 10x's, 20x's, 30x's, and kept them. If you want to do the same, join our private members. Peace.